You're now tuned into the number one independent radio show in Connecticut. Titanium Radio. On 89.9 Cute FM, Hartford.
Hey, yo, speaking of legendary, we got a real legend in the building. I know we throw that word around a lot out here, but I really mean it. I really, really mean it when I say he was a pioneer in the realm of turntablism, and then he produced No Reasonable Doubt. This is a legend beyond legend. Like, you know what I'm saying? For me, this is an honor. I've kind of held my composure in his company, but the fact that I got to spend time with somebody that produced On Reasonable Doubt and made Can't Knock the Hustle and has a Roc-A-Fella chain is incredible to me. It's incredible. Incredible. And it's an honor to introduce y'all to my guy, my boy, Sean C, man. How you feeling, brother?
Good, I'm blessed.
You all right, man?
I'm blessed, man.
Yo, when I say it's an honor to have you here, I really mean that, and I speak on behalf of myself and my team.
I appreciate that, man. You my boy, though.
No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. And like I told you,
like you know, I wouldn't be coming out doing an internet radio show if it wasn't yours. I had to come out and support my man. Like, you know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate you as much as you have welcomed me in this city, and you know what I mean. You and Kennard always show me mad love. So, you know, this is the reciprocation of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just love. You family to me. You come to my house and eat dinner. You know
Word,
what I'm saying?
like Ruby is my girl. That's
my
his dog. Yeah, that's
my
girl.
dog.
Yeah.
My dog loves him, and you know she be biting people.
Yo, oh my goodness,
she loves
scary dog.
She
scary dog.
She love Big Suge though.
That's a fact, man. Like, I don't know. Now it's like two places we could start, man. What brought you to Connecticut, man? Like, what brought you out here?
I came out here because my girl, my partner, she's a cannabis chef, and she had an opportunity in New England to, it was a career opportunity for her. And I was like, yeah, and we move around a lot. We were in Seattle for a while. She's from the West Coast, actually. And so I'm from Harlem, but we were going to make a move to the West Coast, so that was going to be my next move. But she got this opportunity, and I just came out to support her. I could be anywhere. I literally just drove from Jersey to come back from a meeting to come back for you. You know what I mean? So I'll I can be wherever I need to be. I don't have to be someplace every day. So
yeah,
that's a blessing for me.
No, that's a fact, man. What's like Connecticut been like for you since you've been here? You said you've lived in a bunch of different places throughout your time. So what's Connecticut kind of the difference here?
Well, I won't say a bunch of different places, but it's I enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely different than living in the city. Mm-hmm. When I first came out here, it's like, yo, this is dope. It was quiet. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. Like, I like it's good people. You know what I mean? Meeting you and Kennard was a good thing, because we don't have like extended family out here. We don't have, so you guys are kind of like our circle.
Yeah, now we pulling up for the holidays.
Yeah,
all of that
you
type
know what
of
I'm
stuff.
saying? You, my boy June Archer is a good friend of mine that I've known for like 20 years.
And I wouldn't have met June Archer if it wasn't for your house. Like, if I didn't go to your house, that was the first time I ever talked to June Archer. I got the chance to sit down and talk to him. Crazy. So that's dope in itself. Like, real talk.
Yeah, so we try to make that kind of like the hub where people can, that we know if we can make connections with other people, and people can connect. Because of us, we can be the conduit for that.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing. But yeah, I had known June for like 20 years, and through the music business, I never knew where he lived. But I would run into him all the time, or whatever it was going. I can't remember where I met June at or when I met him, but I know I've known him for a long time. And I was I had driven back down for the premiere of Raising Kanan, because I worked on that. On the first season, and he was there, and we started kicking it. And I was like, "Yeah, I moved up to Connecticut." And he's like, "Where?" And I said, "Like Hartford area." He said, "What?" I said, "Yo, anything you need? That's where I'm from. Anything you need, let me know." And I'm like, people say that. You're like, "Oh, word." But then it was like everybody I was meeting if I mentioned June's name, they were like, "Oh, I thought I was going to introduce you to him."
Right. That's the only like connection. Like, you gotta know June Archer.
Yeah, and I was like, "Nah, I know June for years." So yeah, it's a great. His wife and my girl are friends and do stuff together.
Dope,
so
dope,
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
Nah, and I've been I've been lucky enough to be a part of the hub and to be, it be a benefit in my life. So that's dope. I definitely appreciate that. You said that you worked on the show Raising Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people what you do on the show, and what other type of shows have you worked on?
So I produced the song "Streets Need a Body." That was on the first season. I coached the kid Famous AJ. Went on set, make sure he was performing it correctly.
Streets Need a Body.
Yeah.
That was the song. What was that?
That was the song he was doing in season 1. He performed, and then they had that fight in the club.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was like his single, his first record that he had put out. So I produced that song. I was actually in an episode. I was a DJ in the episode in the club. I was a DJ in the club. If you go back and you watch it, I don't remember what episode number
check it out.
But if you go back and you look at the DJ, I'm the DJ in the club. So I worked on that show. I worked on the Wu-Tang Saga, Wu-Tang American Saga. I would be the person that would be on set making sure that everything was authentic. And as far as coaching all of the actors when it came to their raps, I had to help coach them to reproduce the vocals, because they do all of the songs, all the Wu-Tang songs over. So I would coach them to do their vocals correctly. Then I'll be on set making sure it was performed correctly.
And what was that like? Because mistake me if I'm wrong, but you were around Wu-Tang on some of the Wu-Tang members early in their career.
Right.
So
I produced
to see
a
that,
shit ton of Ghostface.
Oh, you can't cuss, but it's okay. We give away one. One is good.
I forgot. My bad.
It's all good.
No, it's good. It's a good discipline. You should be able to express yourself without cursing.
Yeah. So you were around the young Wu-Tang members, and now to see people, acting in their character, right? Yeah. What was that like? What was that like to see Ghostface and Raekwon?
Yeah. It was dope because I got to help them a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean as well. Like, I got to tell them
he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I got on that first season and Wu-Tang was on tour, so RZA couldn't be on set, so I was kind of taking his place as that him and Mathematics. Those were the guys that was their job on the show. But I filled in for them because they were on tour, and it was dope. I had never really I came to Loud Records around when the second album was coming out, so I wasn't around for the first Wu-Tang album. I came around the second album, so they weren't they were already stars, so they weren't around as much as they were for the first album. But Raekwon and I got really cool. So Ray would come because Ray was the only one. Him and Deck were the only ones that were signed to Loud as solo artists. Just the group. Everybody else had deals other places.
Right.
So Ray would always be in the office. So me and Ray got super cool. Like my son when my son was a little kid then, and he in the office at the studio, so he knows like all Pun and Ray, and you know what I mean. So it was extremely. Just kind of surprising to see how somebody like Shamit, he took that Ray character and really he did a great job at being Ray. And he was the one that really asked me the most questions. Like he would ask me a ton of questions like, yo, so what about this? What about that? And then I remember one day the director, because I would sit with the directors also, so that I was absorbing things as well. I was for me that was my time to kind of be a sponge to, because I'm going into this TV film thing, and I got to be on set. I was fortunate enough to be on set, but to act like, not even act, but I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't act like I did. So I would just ask a lot of questions.
Right.
And but the directors would ask me a ton of questions because they wanted it to be accurate. So I remember one time they were like, why is he walking like that? He's walking like a cowboy. And I was like, what do you mean? And Ray got a certain walk because he's bow-legged. And I was like, that's like he's walking like Ray. That's that's how Raekwon walks.
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
it's like, it looks weird. I was like, no, that's
how he really walks.
That's how he really walks. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was dope. Like he was one person that really stood out to me, and everybody else was really good. I'm not taking anything away from any other actors, but I know that he would pull me to the side, you know, a lot and ask me questions.
Yeah, nah, I like his character. I mean, I like Raekwon, but you could tell like he was really trying to talk like Raekwon and walk like Raekwon. The mannerisms was all there. So shouts out to him for
Atlanta,
sure.
so
oh really?
Yeah,
nah, he put on that New York thing for real.
Yeah, so that it took a lot.
Yo, how did you make the transition from being a DJ to being a producer? You were I want to say you were success. Would you consider yourself a successful DJ?
I would consider myself a successful creative in that I didn't become, like, people don't know me as a DJ, so I wouldn't say I was a successful DJ. You know what I mean?
Even though you're a part of like the execution.
Yeah, well, I'm a successful in a way where, you know, my crew and everything, the seeds that I planted became what it became. So yeah, I guess I would be successful. But to say like I'm a successful DJ, for me it would be like you would have to say my name. Everybody knows what I did as a DJ. Most people don't even know that part of my career. You know what I'm saying? People find that out later. Like, oh wow, like I didn't know you know what I mean? Rock Raider and I were best friends. I met him. He was 14. I was 16, and you know, we created this thing. Steve D was one of the original members as well. And then it went on. When I had a son really young. When I had my son, I kind of fell back from DJing, and they kept going. And then when I started making beats, because I was like, I needed to make money, because at that time we weren't making any money as bad. We were battle DJs. And it wasn't really money in that, or at least I can't say it wasn't money in it. I couldn't figure out a way to get to the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I need to make beats. You can make beats and you can make money. You can sell a beat and you can get dough. And I was already making, you know, that was the kind of the natural transition from going, if you're a DJ and you're in a group, you're the producer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a group, so we would make the beats for the group. But I had never thought about selling beats to someone else. So then I was like, I'm gonna really go hard at doing that. Excuse me. So my crew kept going, and then, you know, later on in life, once I had some health issues, and I really had to fall back. I had to get a job. I couldn't even really do anything that I really wanted to do creatively, because now I got this kid. I'm a single father, and I got cancer now. What am I going to do?
And how old were you at the time?
I was in my early 20s.
So all this happened very young. It sounds like this is like midlife crisis. Yeah, it happened to you when you're 20, 21.
I was 19 when my son was born. And then, so I had to get this job. I had that job. And then I felt like, this is the life lesson that I learned, because I worked at that job way longer than I should have, because I started losing hope. And I was like, I might end up being a security guard the rest of my life. Like, but I'm still going home making beats. I'm going to my partner at the time, Nobody, who's the one who Can't Knock the Hustle with. But we had a crew of rappers and producers, and we would all, like, you know, just like kids do now, we would all go to either his house or my house, mostly his house, because his mother would allow us to be in there all times of the night, and we would just be making beats. And I would do that every day and still be tired, go to work, and then one of those beats ended up being Can't Knock the Hustle. That's how that happened.
How did it get in the hands of Dame Dash? I know he lived like a block or two away from y'all. Like, how did you know him growing up?
So I didn't know Dame growing up. He lived, I lived in Schaumburg. Nobody lived in Franklin, and Dame lived in 1199. And 1199 and Franklin are right across the street from each other. I lived, that's the east side, like it's the furthest east you could go in Harlem was at 1199. It's on First Avenue. I lived on Fifth Avenue, so I was a little like right on the cutoff of East and West. So I didn't really know Dame. Kind of knew of him. I think a friend of ours, mutual friend named Coin. The story is so old, it's hard for me to remember all of the details, but I actually just got reminded that Coin was the person kind of that connected us in some sort of way. But I remember meeting him, meeting Dame and Biggs on First Ave. They were in an MPV, and we gave them the beat tape. He's listening to the joints, and they picked a couple, and Biggs had to remind me. He said, "You know, I'm the one that picked the Can't Knock the Hustle beat." Between him and Dame, they picked the beat. But I was in touch with Dame. I would page him like, "Yo, what's up? What's going on?" He's like, "Nah, he's writing to it." Like, and that was when Jay would be writing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "He's writing to it. He's writing to it. We're gonna use it. We're gonna use it." But Jay wasn't Jay. Nobody. It was just a new rapper that was dope. He had some buzz, but nobody knew what was going to be.
Did you know
Jay-Z.
that the sample, the record, like the vibe of the track, did you know that it had the potential to be that? Like, did you? It's hard to say. Did you see it? But I know you were just pushing it as a record to get placed, so to speak,
it was
right?
just a beat.
It was just nothing. When did it become something different?
What do you mean something different?
Like, when did it become bigger than just a beat? Like, because when we think of Can't Knock the Hustle, like, that's one of those records, like,
I think
that's like in a Jay-Z, like, one of those songs that's like, you can't really take that away from Jay-Z. Like, that identifies with Jay-Z as one of his identifiable songs.
I have to say this as well. Like, that was, like I said, we were a crew. We were making beats, and that was one of the beats that nobody mostly had. That was he's had the sample, but the drums, and you know what I mean. We were a team. We was a crew. So, but once it became, when we were like, "Yo, Mary is gonna get on it," and then we heard the vocals. We heard his vocals. We went to studio for. That's the other thing. We're at the studio for all of these things. It's not like we gave a beat and then we hear our song after. You know, we're at the studio. They paid us at D&D Studios with a shoebox of all singles and five. I feel like it was singles and fives in cash, like a shoebox. And we had to sit there and count out the money. So you know where that money was coming from.
Legendary.
Yeah. And we were like, "Yo, it's dope." And I think we had a girl named Veronica on it who was signed to this label called Ola. She was a Spanish chick. And they were like, what y'all doing? We putting Mary on this joint. So when we were going to mix it, Mary came and did her vocals during the mix session. She came in and knocked that out. And then I guess that's when we knew. I mean, we knew it was something regardless.
But the Mary vocals on it at that time, mid-90s, 95, 96, Mary J. Blige on it. I get it, Jay-Z wasn't Jay-Z yet, but you knew Mary J. Blige.
Yeah. But we knew it was a dope record, like, regardless. With Jay's vocals, we like, this is a joint.
How important, why was it important to be there at every session during the process?
That's just, as a producer, that's what you're supposed to produce a record. That's producing a record. And making a beat is making a beat. Producing the song is, yo, you could do your vocal again. Yo, what, now we should make the chorus this long. We should add a bridge here. We should, you know what I mean? Like, just make it, I think, and that's something that a generation of kids now that don't really realize, that the term has changed. Like, now it's just, if I make a beat, or if I change the snare, or if I put keys on it, I produced it. Like, nah, you didn't. You played keys on the song. You didn't produce the song. You played some keys on a beat, and your homeboy did the drum pattern, and this person did that. All that is programming and being a musician. And I'm not negating the worth of that, because that is very, very important. But the term producer is someone who sees a song from start to finish. That's what a producer is. That's what Quincy Jones is. That's what Barry White was. That's what, you know what I mean? That's what Teddy Riley was. That's what even Just Blaze. That's what Kanye was. Like, so Puff was. That's what Dre is. You know what I mean? Like, all these people are people that are in the studio with the artist, come up with the idea for the song, figure out what chorus really works, figures out what drums could work. Like, nah, you should change the drums. You should do, from beginning to end. That's what producing a record is.
How? Because I've seen you in the studio. Like, where or when did that click for you? Like, I get it. Was that always the thing? Like, to give your feedback or critique the artist, the rapper, when he's making a song, or like, we should do it like this, or we should do it like that.
Yeah, that's the school I came up in. So that's how you made a record. You know what I mean? It was no like, oh, this is a different thing. Like, this is an add-on. It's like it's always been that. It's always been the producer is the one that is helping you make the record. We're making this record together.
How does a young producer kind of build that trust or even that kind of courage to speak up in the studio, right? You kind of, I don't know how you were feeling at the time, but you might just be happy to be there.
Yeah, no, I get, and I get it. It can be intimidating if there's an artist that is already, established or whatever the case is, and you gave them a beat. But part of being a producer is having confidence and having people skills and social skills. So that's something that has to be learned, and some people are better at it than others. But I would say the best way for you as a producer to get that skill set is to work with your crew, your artists. Like if it's your boy, and he's coming to your crib and y'all are making music together, y'all making it together, right? You know what I mean? So you can have some ideas on how to change things around, or how to, make the chorus better, or, y'all build it together. That's like 40 and Drake, you know what I mean? Like, they're a team. They came up together. That's when you're creating your own sound and your own thing, and y'all are together doing it. And even if somebody else comes in, like, that's why you see 40's name on all of those records, even if he didn't like make the beat from the beginning, because he may add something to it or whatever, but he's also in there with Drake. Right. Making those records together. So he's producing it.
Dope. Do you have any type of duos or like partnerships where you kind of, it's like a 40 and Drake type of situation with other artists that you're working with?
I mean, I think like anybody that I do songs with, I have the input on it. I mean, and you know what? I will say there are some exceptions. There are some times where I have, like for example, you asked me, you were at the house, you asked me about that plaque. The young, I can't remember his name now. Who was in G Unit?
Young Buck.
Young Buck. So I did a song for Young Buck on Young Buck's first album. Yeah. Right? I never met Young Buck. Right? Yeah, so but I never met him. So that is an example of that. But Sha Money and I were like super cool and tight. So he asked me to send him some beats. That is an example of me never hearing.
So when you work with somebody like Black Thought, y'all did a whole project together, or somebody like Pusha T, y'all did several joints together. Like building that relationship, building that bond, like what goes into that besides like just time in the studio?
Well, me and Tariq and I are friends. I've known him for years, so that was us being in the studio and creating on the spot, coming up with ideas, and it was a give and take. It was a back and forth of like, yo, and then I would add stuff to it. He'd hear the record like, yo, you changed this. Yo, when did I say that line? Like I took that from the other take that you did, but you know what I mean? So we just have a great rapport. Pusha really, he was somebody that really liked. He was a fan of ours, myself and LV, when we were making records, and he always just wanted to do some stuff with us. So he came, him and Malice, No Malice now, had come by the studio in Brooklyn and picked a bunch of joints, and we would go. They did their vocals in Virginia and sent it to us, and we would go back and forth like that. So we weren't in the studio with them. So that was another example of that, but we still had the input of like where the chorus could go, we could move things around, change things like that. So, out of necessity and technology and getting things done efficiently, of course you can't always be there, but if I'm not there, I'm still gonna be like, we're gonna be on the phone and it's gonna go back and forth.
Yeah. It seems like from the outside looking in, the creative process seems more like singular. Like one person gets the credit for the raps, one person gets the credit for the beat. But when you're on the inside, it's like there's a room full of people that's just their vibe alone could be added to the track, or they might be vocal, they might be saying something. So it's not just one person. Even it could be one person saying a rap, but he's like, yo, what you think of that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always seems like more of a collaborative process.
Right. But see, what happens too is you get like you got your whole crew in the room that love everything you do too.
That too.
You know what I'm saying?
That
and
too.
that becomes a problem as well. So then it's like the great thing about being able to just make a record wherever and in your bedroom is that you can make a record wherever. And then, but the downside of that is that, you know, you have a lot of people that don't have music experience, and and they might not they're legitimately giving their opinion of what they think, but they don't really know certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you can say my verse too long. It's like, nah, it's hot, crazy. It's going because you're already prejudiced to want to like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's your man. You want to like it, so you're going to be like, even if you're not lying, it's just like you can't turn that off.
Yeah.
Either you're going to be that way, or you're going to be all the way the opposite way, where you kind of like, nah, that's whack. Nah, that's you know what I mean? Because it's your man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yo, one thing that they say is missing now in the music industry is artist development. When you were A&R at Loud Records, like, what were some of your like your roles, your duties? Did you do any artist development when you worked at Loud Records?
Yeah, well, I had Big Pun, Dead Prez. I definitely, when it came to Dead Prez and Pun, was there from the beginning, because both of those are new artists, and they didn't have any. You know, they had nothing that they could say was like something they'd done before. So they had to, from the beginning, you had to build their image and build who they are. And it's always true to the way we did things at Loud was, you know, we didn't make up a story for the artist. It was like you sign the truth and then you put the truth out. So you're signing a legitimate artist with integrity. What he talks about is who he is and all that. And those are the things that we would look for that would shine through. And then you make records until you kind of get to the place where you like, we got that record, not just put the record out. You know what I mean? And you know, that's it. Kind of now the way it happens, where you put things out and the artists kind of learn as they go. They might, like, their first record could end up being a hit record, and they just put it out and they never did a show before.
Right.
And then they just kind of learn
on the job.
It's like on the job training, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, before you had to do shows and do all of that stuff before you even came out, you know.
Right. No, that's dope, man. Yo, talk to us about grime music. Grime music.
So, grime music is myself and LV and a couple other producers that we had down under us. Like my boy Marvino, Sal, and it started just because LV he came up under me as a DJ. I got him to get the DJ for Pun. Him and Young Sav, you know who Young Sav is? Yep. So it's a not a long story, but we're all family. We all grew up in the same neighborhood, right? So Fat Man Scoop is Young Sav's older brother.
Yep.
Fat Man Scoop and I had a group together. We've been friends since we were 11, 12 years old. So we've always had this thing. And LV is Kendall's best friend, Sav's best friend. So they were the crew. They had a crew together. They had their own thing. Yeah. So when Pun was looking for a DJ, he wanted one of the X-Men, one of the Executioners. But at that time, they weren't doing any. They stopped touring as tour DJs. They just were doing their own thing. They would just them. You just come to see them.
The Executioners.
Yeah.
That's when they all would line up.
Yeah. So they had made that decision to no longer be tour DJs. So I couldn't get anybody from the immediate crew. But Pun didn't know who was in the Execution, so I told him LV was one of that.
Just make sure they could do it with their soldiers.
And I knew he was, you know, he came up under us, so I knew he could do what, you know what I mean? I knew he could do it. So, long story short, he became Pun's DJ. Then he wanted to learn how to make beats. So I gave him I was getting the MPC, a new MPC, the XL, so I gave him my other 2000. And he started learning, and I was showing him stuff. I would leave him in my crib and just have him make beats and shit. Make beats. And I didn't say the whole word. I caught myself. So long story short, that it became that's where it started, and then we just started making joints together.
So like this album right here, American Gangster, I felt like reaffirmed Jay-Z as who we thought he was, if anybody got it messed up, right? How did it feel to be a part of that moment?
It was dope. It was like full circle.
Right,
you know?
right.
It was full circle because we had been working with Puff for a while. We had an artist signed to him, and we were making records with him and other people. And then one day he hit me and was like, "Yo, don't tell anybody. I just ran into Jay, and he was in Sandro Pay, and he's like, I ran into Jay in Sandro Pay, and he said he's working on, he's gonna do a new album, and he wants me to executive produce it, and I want y'all to do it. I want to do it with y'all." And I was like, bet. So when he came back, we were like, call Jay. He called Jay. Jay showed up to the studio, like literally, it was like 15, 20 minutes. He was at the studio, wrinkled shirt, like just, you know what I mean, just. He was doing, I guess he was just in his crib or whatever. Mm-hmm. And first beat that we played, because he told us, Puff had already told us he wants to go back to doing all the soul. He wants it to be all soul samples, like the soul. That's what he wants. So first beat we played him was Sweet, which is crazy. That was the first beat. And he just stood up like, yo. And then he stayed for like 3 hours. We just kept playing joints. And then the last beat we played, he was like, turn the mic on. No, he said, play it again. He kept saying, play it again. And he was just sitting there like, he's like, play it back? He's like, turn the mic on. Then he went in the booth and he just spit a whole song straight down. But we ended up it was a song that didn't go on the album. But then the next day, say that was a Monday. Wednesday, we were in there, because we would be at Daddy's house every day. That's Puff Studios, Daddy's house. Mm-hmm. We'd be in there every day making music. And Wednesday, we're in there, and the door opens, like that door open. He pops his head in, he's like, yo, come in here. And we go in the other room, and he plays Sweet, No Hook, and something else that he did from the beats that we gave him, right? Because he would go and do his vocals at Rock the Mic. That's when he had the Rock the Mic studio. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm gonna give y'all he gave us the sessions, and then we added stuff to it and moved, do what we do, give it back to him. And he's like, oh, all right, now I'm gonna change this now. So it was like a back and forth. That's the way that whole process went. It was like, literally, it was like that. So that was Wednesday, and then Tuesday we were making beats again, and then on Friday, we'll like go to Rock the Mic, and it'll be some new songs, or we'll give him new beats, because we'll make beats and we'll give him new beats, and that's kind of how it went. But it was a dope process because it went really, really quickly. Yeah, it was super fast. Like, I mean, I know not as fast as like dudes who make albums in a day now. Mm-hmm. Like, but for that period of time, it was really, really quick.
So y'all had a lot of those beats on hand. Like, when you make beats, do you have an artist in mind when you're making a beat? And if it wasn't for Jay-Z at that point, because you didn't know like he was gonna even make an album, who were those beats for? Like, who was Sweet for?
Sweet was just there. It was just a beat. It was just a beat that was just there. Party Life was just a joint that I had forever, because I just liked that sample. I chopped that up. I just had that sitting there. We made Rock Boys was made though for him. Mm-hmm. Then a bunch of other beats got made. Some went to other artists. A lot of Ghostface records came out of that batch, because I would wake up every day, go record shopping, and then go to the studio. And we'll do that every day. Go record shopping and go to the studio and find stuff. And then I remember I found the 45 with the Rock Boys on it. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this is crazy, right? It's crazy. And then it was ill, because at the same time I was working at Universal at SRC, and we were doing, Wu-Tang was doing another album at the same time. And I had to go to Canada to get up with RZA for something Wu-Tang related. But we had made the beat already. And I was like, yo, L, just play that for him, give it to Puff, play it for him, whatever. And when I came back, they were like, yo. He's like, Jay loves this joint. It's crazy. He's talking about making this the single. So it was like, back. We went to see the movie, because we didn't know it was for the movie. Was the song
done before he wanted to make it a single? Was he just saying it's a single?
No. When he made, after he did
it.
After he did it. And then Kanye, because Kanye's on that song. He's the one saying "In the House."
Yep. And
Beyonce's all over that album. She's like mad background vocals.
That's a fact. Not real talk.
Because she would be at the studio. Yeah. She would be around all the time. I remember one time we were in one room working, and we had just come out. We were in we had the whole studio, so we'd be in one room and go in the other room. Now, I remember going in one room, and working for a little while, and then I can't remember if it's L. Somebody had been in A. I was just in A. I came out and were like, yo, come in A. And I was like, all right. Yo, when I was in A, it was like 3 people. It was like me and somebody else in there messing around making music. And then when I came back in, it was LeBron James, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Puff. Like it was like a party. It was mad people in the room. Yeah. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was just, I was just in this room. But yeah, that was kind of how those weeks were going. It would be like that. Like
and then going to see the movie, and it's like Denzel. Mm-hmm. One of his like iconic roles is Frank Lucas, iconic gangster.
It was dope because we didn't know that he was like making an album, and then after we did like 3 songs, then we found out that it was.
Did that change the process at all?
We got the movie, and then we were able to watch it while we were making stuff. And Google would be like, yo, anytime you want to see it, come over here. And if it's clips you want, just give it to me. So that's why I took the clip from and I put it in the front of No Hook with Denzel talking, and he's like, his family, like some little things like that. I would remember it. I was like, yo, it was a scene in the movie and
that's dope because I feel like listening to the album, that's kind of how Jay-Z made the album, was like some of the verses were kind of like reference to the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's dope, man. And we've been talking a lot about the music inputs that you have on TV and film, but you said that you making your own endeavor into TV and film. What you about to make a show, a project?
So, I've been working on a couple things. I took some film classes. Eventually, I want to direct, but my end now is still like just learning from using my resources and what I have as far as like who I am in music to help open the door in film. So if I'm doing like, scoring or music supervision, which more so is what I've done, because I worked on a Hilary Swank movie and did music supervision for that. That's kind of my end to just learn, because I need to learn. Mm-hmm. So I'm treating it the same way I did when I went to Loud, because I went to Loud as an intern, and then they found out that I did Can't Not the Hustle, and then that's how I went from an intern to VP, right? Because that was something separate that was going on outside, and I didn't tell nobody what that was.
Was that on purpose, or?
Yeah, it was on purpose. It was purposely done.
Strategy.
It's like as if you had a kid in here running around for you, and you don't know that he just, he's about to get signed to whatever label. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of how I did it. So I'm treating that. There's a theory that whatever you've done, whatever plan that you've done that you were successful at getting done, you can apply that to anything, right? So if you were successful at getting to this radio show, however you got there, and you wanna have a car company, you know what I mean? Like you use that same pattern of moves that you made, and you apply it to that. So that's what I've been doing.
That's dope, man. Sean C in the building, Titanium Radio, 89.9 QFM. Sean C, man, I know, you're a pillar in the hip hop culture. You've been around since like day one, literally.
You say I've been around since Jesus was beatboxing.
Yo, but what are you listening to nowadays, man? Like, what as a hip hop fan these days still gets you like turning on the iTunes, turning on Tidal, whatever you streaming on? What gets you like, I gotta listen to this?
I mean, I listen to everybody's album at least once when it comes out. I'm like, because I just at least want to know. At least listen to it once. Some might not stick with me. A lot of it's not for me. But like, I like J.I.D., the Kid Jed. I like IDK, like that kid. He's dope. I like what else? He's not new, but like Schoolboy Q. That's like my favorite rapper, Schoolboy.
I like Schoolboy Q a lot.
He's like
I wish he made more music.
Yeah, I like Schoolboy Q a lot.
You got his number?
No, I don't, but I got him on the Black Thought album through his man. Yeah. That's why he was on there, because he was one of my favorite rappers.
That's dope. That's
you
dope.
You know what I mean? I like, who else? I rock with Vince Staples.
Staples is dope.
Yeah, I rock with, said J.I.D. So many, it's hard to remember everybody. I like, Stove Guard a lot. I like who else? I rock with bass, Fuego bass.
Dope.
Yeah.
They what do you call them, Taylor? The bass de fuego. The bass de fuego.
Yeah, I rock with that from out here. Yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot, and of course Cole. You know, that's Drake's a little bit.
What about like young producers? Do you like do people do they hit you like, yo, Sean, I got a young producer, I want you to hear like beats?
Yeah, I always
how do you
get
do
that.
that?
I do get that a lot. And that's fine. It's like, and if anybody like that reaches out to me and it seems like I'm like not into it, or I'm into it but not into it, it's really because I'm not really, but I am. It's like it would happen because it's, you know, it's so much volume, you know what I mean, of like so many, and you get so much like stuff that's not good.
Yeah.
And then I also don't want to discourage someone from getting better or moving and getting, you know, making some bread or whatever the case is, because a lot of the songs now, it's like the beat's not really what it is that is driving it.
What you mean?
Like there's a lot of interchangeable music now that you can take this person's verse and put it on that beat, take that beat, put it on this person's verse, and it wouldn't even matter. Right. And I'm not trying to I'm not being the old grumpy man or anything. I'm just saying that's just the fact of it. And if you're a kid that makes beats and I'm this old dude telling you that, or, you know, maybe I'm not going to be like, yo, you're whack, you should stop. But if I don't give you the reaction that you want, either you're going to be like, you don't know, or I might discourage you. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to make something you're going to make money off of and be successful with, just because I didn't see it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's kind of what makes it a little bit hard for me to always give my opinion on certain new producers. You know what I mean?
Because it might not be your vibe.
Might not be my vibe, and I don't want to tell you that it ain't, you know, or whatever, or you just read me like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't think you like it. Maybe I shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Be doing this, but there's still lot of dope kids out there, man. I mean, good music is good music, regardless.
No, that's a fact, man. I play my beats with Sean C. He liked them. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying.
It depends on the vibe you're on, and that's the other thing. Like, hip hop is so different. And there's so many different types of hip hop now that it's, you know, you may be successful in that type, and I'm like this type. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man, it is so many different lanes of hip hop right now. What would you call the lane that you kind of are in?
Hip hop. I don't know, man. Like, it's, you know, it's funny. I was we were talking at my boy Riggs, who was on the Grammy board, and we've had a lot of conversations, and it's like, you know, there should be categories in hip hop,
subcategories,
subcategories,
right.
just like you have like soft rock,
right? Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that is in the works that hopefully will.
Who's gonna be? Because I was doing a lot of research today on yourself, and you've even said like categorizing music kind of kills the creativity or the creative vibe or the intent that the creator had. Like they weren't creating the music to put it in a box. Right. That's something somebody else does. Yes. So who's gonna be naming the subcategories of rap?
Whoever is whatever award show you want the award on is gonna want to be the one. That doesn't mean that is that category, but if you want the award from that, you know, that organization, and you're gonna get it for what they made the category.
If the Grammys say, yo, this is we giving the category for traditional hip hop.
Yeah, so
that's what they'll start calling.
So no, listen, it's crazy you said that, because that was one of the words. It was like traditional rap performance, right?
Right.
Like
now I start thinking of guys in their 40s.
Yeah, like, well, you think about that, but then
just older rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, Jid is traditional rap performance to me. He's not in his 40s.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Cole and
even J. Cole is a little,
he's almost 40. But
right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there are people, there are young kids that are rapping. It's not like everybody is not rapping the exact same. Yeah. And that's something that I always like tell my peers like these kids songs. I was like, nah, it's kids that rap. Like it's not just everything isn't just a hook. You just hear a lot of that, but there's a lot of other rappers out here. You know what I mean? That are in their 20s, even teens that rap. Like it's funny that like some of my friends' sons and stuff, they like listen to like MF Doom and like they're listening to like all of this old hip hop stuff, which is weird to me. You know,
I mean, like the Griselda wave kind of brought that
right,
into
exactly.
I want to call it pop culture, but I just call it like the social media zeitgeist where it's kind of popular to play.
Yeah.
Yo, Sean C, man, what's next for you? Like, who haven't you worked with that you looking forward to working with, man? You had such a legendary career. You worked with pretty much everybody. I feel like if you got a top 5 rappers, East Coast rappers especially, you probably work with them.
Yeah, but I still haven't done anything for Drake or J. Cole. I would love to work on something like that.
Kendrick? Have you worked
Kendrick,
with
those three, none of the big three have I worked with.
Of this generation.
Of that generation have I worked with. I mean, I'm not like actively like trying to get on people's albums.
J. Cole
like
on a Sean C beat would be crazy.
I met Cole before Cole came by the studio when he was first working on his first album because he has a tie to American Gangster because he wanted to be on that album. I don't know if you ever heard him tell a story. He tells us like he was giving Jay beats for American Gangster when he found out he was working on it. That was how he was trying to get on.
Oh, so, that's when he was trying to get signed, and he was my boy went to school with him, so he used to wear like a shirt, like I want to make a beat for Jay-Z or something like that. Like that was his whole like kind of not gimmick, but that was his thing, like trying to make a beat for Jay-Z.
That was around that time.
That seems like such a long time ago, man.
That's why it's like
crazy.
I mean, it's cool. I'll tell the story and stuff, but it's like, damn, this is like so old. Like I told the story so many times.
It's classic, right? Like American Gangster. Like I said, I remember where I was when that came out, and it was just like, nah, man, Jay-Z's back. Jay-Z's that dude.
It felt good to make that record. But yeah, that's Cole has a tie to that. I mean the younger dudes though too, man. Like if it's somebody that I'm hearing that inspires me to work with them. Like I want to only do those things, like work with people that I get inspired by.
Is there anybody in Harlem you hear or you heard from about?
I just heard, I got to listen for this kid. I just heard about this kid, Joe, from Harlem Code. His name is Joe. Oh, damn it. I just heard about him the other, I feel like it was yesterday my boy told me about him. His name's Joe something. I can't remember the last name, but he's supposed to be dope. I can't vouch.
But that's the last name you heard.
That's the last name that I heard that I gotta check out. But I'm not like I've made records for so long. It's like I need a challenge to. I'll make, like you've been on my crib. I'll make beats like consecutively if I'm in that mood. But then there'll be like times when I'm just like talking to my girl about figuring out how to do this cannabis thing with her, or just like doing other things, or the TV thing, or whatever.
How important is fitness in your journey? I was watching your old interviews, and you didn't have a lot of muscle back then. I'm like, I used to be skinny, man. I got some hope, man.
Yeah. Now, I got started like. I used to be on a bike all the time. I used to ride, like we used to do miles and miles. I used to do, on the minimum, I would do 20 miles a day. On a minimum, like that's on a low day.
Crazy.
Yeah, I would do 20 miles a day, just like the whole Manhattan in the morning, just ride and then ride back and then start my day. And then I started just doing like, and Alexis is the one that got me into cycling. And I would do like, we do 70 miles, we do 50 miles, we would be riding, and I just kind of got into, it would feel good being healthy. Yeah. And then I had that health scare, so I do have to be on top of my health, and I go through it. Like I'm heavy now because this holidays just came through. Just eating whatever, but I try to be on top of it, man, as much as I can. I go to the gym at least 4 times a week, 3 sometimes, but I try to do between 3 and 5.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah,
it gives me
just
some
stay
hope.
right.
Yeah. Nah, I see how Sean C living. I'm like, he's.
My son is the one that's like
Singapore.
that, and he's an animal.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
He in the gym all the time.
He's like, you see my, you know my
I
son.
seen him. It was. I think he had on like a sweatshirt or something like that. I couldn't
my son
tell.
is like super diesel.
Yo, Sean C, man. I don't know how long you're gonna be in Connecticut, but I appreciate your time here. I appreciate your influence here.
No problem.
Contributions here. You coming through the show, and like you were saying, like. This is my boy, so I'm saying this on the radio, but it's my guy. It's my boy.
Man. You're supposed to go to a place and make it better than when you left it, man.
Word.
That's just a room you walk in, any place, you know what I mean? You got to try to make it better than when you left it. So that's all I'm trying to do is, add on or whatever I can.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You're doing a great job, man. We appreciate you, man. On behalf of myself, Titanium Radio, man, shouts out to Sean C. Where can they follow you?
It's Sean C. Instagram or Twitter. It's ITSSEANC.
Yo.
It's Sean C.
Legendary.
I'm not a legend, man. I'm not
You don't think so? Nah? Why not? Why not?
Nah, I'm not.
Can't knock the hustle?
I'm just a dude.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
People throw that word around like loose.
They
like
do.
Super loose.
They do.
Yeah.
But I really...
Yeah. I've made some great contributions to music, without a doubt.
Uh-huh.
I would never discount my contributions. People don't know a lot of the things that I've done. I made a great contribution, but like Stevie Wonder's a legend. Like,
Yo, I was just watching Sean, I get it, bro. I get it. But I was just watching the YouTube video of you and Roc-A-Fella battling each other.
Oh yeah,
in
you
the
saw
apartment in 1990 something, right?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my boy, man.
Y'all was tearing it up. Y'all was going back and forth.
That was how we practiced. That was a whole crew battle. We all battled.
Yeah, you was like, yo, who's next? Who's next?
Yeah, and that was that one that's on the tape is one of the times that I won.
I see. No,
everybody.
because I check it out, dog, and I'm like, yo, it's like, what's the other dude? He kind of diesel now too. He
Rob
really
Swift.
diesel. Rob Swift is Rob Swift. I like Roc-A-Fella's number one because Roc-A-Fella. He was flawless and it looked effortless when he did it. Whatever he did, it looked effortless. Like he did it with a smile on his face, like a little smirk. Like whatever he did, he had a smirk on his face. Rest in peace. Rob Swift was like the smoothest. Like he had the most style type of thing, right? You look like you was working hard. Like you was just working hard.
So you know what? It's funny because Rob describes it like we did this we had this talk and he was saying to people that didn't know, they only knew me as a producer, and they were like, yo, if you battled Sean C back then, it was like you was in a fight. He was like, it looked like he wanted to fight you. And that was real. That was real because I used to be like, I would listen to Ice Cube, match angry music before battle, and I would really legitimately on some wrestling shit, be staring at keep cursing, I'm so sorry. I would stare the dude down, do you know who DJ Dummy is? You know that
DJ Dummy. Is he the one that used to cut up the words, do a lot of wordplay type of stuff?
He DJ for Common for a long time.
I think I might.
And I ran into him one day a couple years ago. I think after Raider passed around that time. And he's younger than us. And he was like, yo, we were laughing. He said, yo, when we were in the battles back in the day, man. He's like, I was legitimately scared of you. He's like, yo, because he said, not leaving on some tea. He said, I was just scared, because you was screaming at me in my face and staring at me, intimidating me. And I was like, yeah, that was real. I would really, really do that. I looked at everyone like the enemy. And that was why we had that. I came up with the name the X-Men. When we were the X-Men, because I was like, we're going to X everybody. We're going to X everybody. And the Superman, it came from the Superman. So we made the X-Men. And I was like, after Superman, we the X-Men.
Got you.
So that's
wow. I didn't know you were so aggressive, man. I didn't know you were so angry,
I was a very outspoken and aggressive young man when I was younger. I'm a different person than I was when I was younger.
Yo, thank God for hip hop, man.
not on some street like that, but my word though, and my crew was just nobody's better, and I talked a lot.
You were competitive.
Yeah, I talked a lot, a lot.
Sean C, man. Legend in my eyes. What can I say, man? What can I say? We appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. Thank you.
Yo, Titanium Radio, man. Keep it locked right here.
Tune into your radio. This a heavyweight stadium. Music banging loud through your cranium. This a heavyweight stadium. Music banging loud through your cranium. This is titanium. You are listening to titanium. This is titanium. You are listening to titanium. Heavyweight, 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 heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight, 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 titanium.
It's your boy DJ QT.
It's your girl Tammy.
It's your boy B Davis.
This is Titanium Radio.
Listening to Titanium Radio.
Right here on 89.9 Cute FM.
Oh, it's 89.9 Cute FM.
89.9 Cute FM.